We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And this one is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded at about the 28. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bears take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. First carry now for Jordan Howard. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
Lock in, lock in.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
Let's go, we're on the ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, they run with Howard. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. Caught out left side by Robinson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Chicago 1st down, the former Jag Allen Robinson on the catch from Trubisky. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Trubisky with the give to Howard. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Lock in, lock in.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. Shaheen, the tight end on the right side. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Let's go.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. From the gun, it's Trubisky. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And Parkey's kick is good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights. National television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real. And a pretty nice opening statement.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. On the left side, this is Stills. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play for the Bucs there on third down. And even 50 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll be brought down short of the 15, but a really good move on the run. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
He'll look to throw. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score. Hawker out now to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A give to Howard. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Robinson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Got a man, it's right. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Over the middle, that's caught by Miller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, particularly running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Bo Allen on the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Now it's Wilson. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Detroit!
They begin with a run by Miller. Quick move by Miller. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running
That's
back
what you
on
need
that
for
counter
a good
play?
counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Hey. All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They keep it with Miller on 1st down. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Parkey adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Now it's Wilson. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Right side caught by Jackson. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. throw left side complete. That's Burton. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
The Bears on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Here's Trubisky. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Bears on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Trubisky, draw play, gives to Howard, and he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Call it a 4-yard pickup, but it leaves him a few inches short here on 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, this from 37. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. And Parkey's kick is good. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z. And
he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. See some head shaking on that defensive sideline because so much focus on taking away what he did last week as NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Big game there for him to start.
I love your observation because you would think they'd be prepared for it after what he did the previous week. But sometimes that skill set actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Aaron this one out for Evans. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
A lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. Dumps it complete to Miller. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Back to throw. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to make this a close game again. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal. Hawker out now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Come on, gotta go, gotta go.
On second down, here's Trubisky. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked up on Levante David. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Gone! All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And Hawker's kick here is good. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive? He rifles one that's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it again with Miller. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Gone, 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 gone. Hurry up, here we go.
They go play action here on 1st down. And Blake, the tight end's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Again, it's Miller. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, they were in the red zone, and they needed a 1st down. Was it a surprise to you that they went to the tight end?
And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Lamar Miller with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bucs are going to take the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Hawker out now to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And an alley to run. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10. Touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Hot.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw. A free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And Bright has it over the middle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
7 yards on the quick slant and a 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way...
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Gone, 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 gone.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his throw's going to be incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
319! 319!
They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, 1 play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. There to stop him was Carlton Davis.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Howard. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The offense on third down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This is Howard. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. And this one's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Bears on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is third down and 12. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball to their territory.
Over the middle to Evans. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it first and 10 now out past the 20.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Going up top. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on to kick it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. But now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Howard. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. On 2nd down, Trubisky. Throw left side, complete. That's Burton. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And some room to work. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They run with Howard. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. Hard throw, incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And Parkey's kick is good. But wait up now, a flag is down. If this is on the defense, they're going to get the first. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
That play seems to never work, but they were able to draw him off on 4th. And now it's 1st and 10. A give to Howard running left. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
Try to punch it in with Howard. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Running with Howard. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Detroit!
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to be sacked back on his side of the field at the 44. Khalil Mack. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Trying the right side with Howard. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Let's go.
They go with Howard again. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. The Bears on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. Now Trubisky. Completion left side to Miller. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They go counter with Howard. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. This is Howard on 2nd down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to throw here. Evans has it left side. And now he bowls him over. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is dropped in incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Chicago, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
You